Seriously though, Battlefield 6 does make me think that the first-person shooter industry could be healing again. This game, alongside Arc Raiders, has reinvigorated the love that I've always had for shooters, and I do plan on making a video about these two games in reference to that subject specifically in the future. But in this video, now that I've gotten my hands plenty dirty behind the wheel of Battlefield 6, we're going to talk about a few things that I like, don't like, and where we go from here. So let me be clear, Battlefield 6, at least for me, has been a blast. Everything that I'm going to mention in this video, of course, is just my opinion. So some of those things you may not agree with, they may not be your experience, but that's just how it's been for me. Now, I'm only at the rank of roughly like 25, I think. Again, I've had a ton of fun playing it, and I'm eager to play it every single day, something that I haven't felt for a shooter in a very long time. The phrase, a return to form, has been thrown around a lot when referencing this game, but I gotta say it's pretty on point. That's kind of exactly how I feel about it. The high octane action of buildings exploding, soldiers screaming, grenades going off, bullets whizzing by, tanks, vehicles, jets, helicopters in an ever evolving landscape is something that only Battlefield can provide, and it's freaking amazing. It is, however, not without its flaws. So let's start with a few things that I don't quite enjoy, or at the very least feel could be improved upon, first of which is the progression system. Now, a lot of people have been talking about this recently, stating that the progression system is a little too slow, and in the portal mode, which has since been rectified, you were able to go in and basically just kill hundreds or thousands of bots and level up to the top of the leaderboards by getting XP for those things. Again, that has since been rectified, and now it no longer counts. It is indeed of a grind to level up in Battlefield, unlock skins, camos, things like that, different weapons and weapon parts, but if we take the constant bombardment of COD perks and flash out of it, it really is more about the game and gunplay than the way that these things look. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy a nice skin, I enjoy a nice character camo, and it is nice to see those unlocks and perks pop up on your screen for all the work that you've put in. But realistically, it's not that important. You'll unlock things for your guns as you level them up, like sights and grips, maybe some blueprints or a camo or two fairly quickly, but full weapon mastery is going to take some time. Now, I do think that they've addressed this and may have plans to speed it up slightly, which brings me to my second point, the weapons themselves. I'd say for me, it's kind of a half and half situation compared to the weapons that you start with versus the ones that you're trying to grind to level up. The weapons don't really seem to distinguish themselves very much from one another that greatly within their given classes. Now, obviously ARs are more powerful than SMGs, and snipers do the most damage out of any gun, but it doesn't really feel like there's a meta. And if you like COD, where everyone uses the same gun because it's the best, you're probably not going to find that here. Which, in all honesty, I'm kind of okay with, because the way that the guns seem to be balanced and operate in the game means that you kind of have your pick of all of them. Now, as you do level up the weapons and the classes and get access to better gear, there are going to be weapons that distinguish themselves, but for a good little while, you could pretty much just run the gamut of whatever you feel like using and be confident that everyone is going to be pretty much on par. So in that sense, it might be balanced. Another minor but goofy point that I don't really enjoy about this iteration of the class system is that for some reason the mobile respawn beacon is attached to the assault class. It's never been that way before, it's always been a recon perk, so I'm not really sure why it's that way now. I would very much prefer the mobile respawn beacon still be a part of the recon class. If there's something I'm missing in regards to that, please let me know. Now, you can use your sniper rifle on the assault class, but you do not have access to a ghillie suit as far as I know. Again, if there's something I'm missing, please let me know. I do miss having the respawn beacon on the recon class. It was always there before alongside the motion sensor. Not really sure why they decided to change that, but it's not game breaking. It's just something I preferred the original way. Now, I brought this up before in a previous video I made on Battlefield 6, specifically during the beta, but we're talking about the menus. The menus and settings in this game are kind of insane, and to be honest with you, there's a lot of redundancy that occurs in the menus, specifically when referencing controls and sensitivity settings. They appear in 2 or 3 different menus sometimes. I'm not really sure why that's the case. It's confusing. It's a little overwhelming. The first stream that I did when I got on the game, I was basically just going through the settings menu for most of that time. I don't really know why more effort wasn't put into consolidating the menus and making them a little bit more visually appealing. I mean, hey, that's just me. I'm not a UX designer, but it seems to be a sentiment that more than just myself share. Now I've mostly gotten it all squared away, but maybe in the future some consolidation for the settings could occur, because that shit is over the top. If you guys watch me stream live, this is something that I am going to bitch about more than any other thing in online competitive shooters, because it is the most important thing in online competitive shooters. Besides performance, number 1, footstep audio. It is the most important factor in online competitive shooters. Now, unfortunately, this game suffers from the same exact issues that any other game with a ton of ambient noise in the background suffers from, which is that it just gets lost in the translation. I can hear my teammates just fine. It's like running alongside a pack of freaking buffalo, but I cannot hear an enemy run up to me and shoot me in the back unless I'm standing alone in a room, practically not moving. Now, I'm more than willing to admit that it may be time to upgrade my own headset. I've had it for a while. It is a veteran of my skull, but something has got to be done with these games to differentiate the frequencies of high-end, mid, and low-end sounds so that footstep audio can take priority. I am using the War Tapes VAL, as a lot of people have suggested, and it does amplify the audio quite a bit. The problem is that it amplifies all of the audio rather than just the footstep audio that I'm looking for. Again, this may not be something that you guys struggle with, but it is something that I have noticed is very inconsistent in Battlefield. There's so much noise going on, so much chaos, that the footsteps just aren't there a lot of the time, at least for me. That's it for my gripes about Battlefield, folks. Nothing about this game or what I've listed so far has hindered my enjoyment of the game at all. Sure, I'm gonna have moments like everyone does where I'm screaming and raving about what the hell's going on, where did this guy come from, no audio on this guy. That's just how it is. But Battlefield 6 is incredible, man. I want to state that clearly. These are just my opinions. Again, you may or may not agree with them, but all in all, I have had a fantastic time with this game. The visuals, amazing. The destruction, amazing. I do think that more maps are going to help the game, and season 1 is right around the corner. We are getting more maps, new weapons, new game modes, all of the things that you would expect from a live service game. They're coming. We're also getting the Battle Royale mode, which I am super excited for. I think a lot of people are waiting to dive into that to see what it's like. But Battlefield 6 is amazing, man. So is it worth the hype? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's exactly what the shooter industry needed. I think it's a breath of fresh air. Even if it's not your main game, even if you prefer the play style of Call of Duty, that's fine. I think having this in the marketplace is only going to do great things for the competitors, the other games that exist alongside it. It's not going to be without its growing pains. That's fine. That's totally expected. But if we're being real with each other, if we can go through the growing pains that we've gone through for the last 3 to 5 years with Warzone, then this should be a freaking breeze, man, because out of the gate, I don't know, and this is just me, but I don't know how you can look at a match of Call of Duty online multiplayer and then look at a match of Battlefield and even think that you're going to have a more enjoyable time playing the Call of Duty than you are the Battle. That's just me. I don't get it. I don't get the obsession with the static environments that are just flat, plain, and dull, and nothing's happening, and everyone's just slide canceling around the map and jumping in the air with 99.9% accuracy aim assist. I just don't get it. But hey, if that's your version of having fun, then that's fantastic. That's what it's all about. I think they both should exist. I think they both have their place, and I'm looking forward to them both making each other better, which is what this is all about. So I thank you very much for watching this video. If you've been on the fence about Battlefield 6, you've never played a Battlefield title, you're immersed in the Call of Duty world, that's fine. Keep grinding Call of Duty out, but I implore you to give Battlefield a try. Give it some time, let it grow on you. It is going to take your experience of a first-person shooter online competitive game to an entirely new level.